Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Photoshop video for you, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I make my own fabric designs on Photoshop. You may have seen in the past that I've made my own graphics like these, and these are perfect if you want to make your own fabric prints and designs, whether that be for obviously fabrics or sublimating. So I'm going to be showing you that process in today's video, but with an exciting twist, because I scanned in my daughter's drawings and I'm going to be turning my daughter's drawings into a repeat pattern and a print that I can sublimate onto fabrics. Such an exciting video. I really love this idea and I cannot wait to share it with you. So before I get into it, if you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get started. Before we head over to Photoshop, where I can show you how to make a fabric design and a repeat pattern, I thought I would show you the finished result before we get started. This is what I've made using my daughter's drawings. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun to do this process and see her drawings be turned into something actual physical that she can love and we can gift to like family members and stuff like that. Such a great way to personalize gifts or make something that's a little bit more unique, and I just think immortalizing your children's drawings is such a lovely idea. It's really nice to capture this time while they're little in such a fun and unique way. Very familiar with making patterns and fabric designs on Photoshop, and so I wanted to share this skill with you guys today. And hopefully this video will show you how easy it is to achieve some really gorgeous fabric designs and repeat patterns. So first things first, I had to get my daughter to make some gorgeous drawings, which isn't hard because my daughter absolutely loves drawing. She's taken after her mum and dad and is very creative. So we had a little session of drawing and I was asking her to draw some of her favourite things. And at the moment she's obsessed with drawing anything Halloweeny, so spiders, pumpkins, ghosts, all of that kind of stuff. So if you're wondering why a lot of her drawings seem quite spooky, it's probably because they are. But she had a whale of a time drawing lots of different spiders. And just to note, she's only 2.5, so for her age, the drawings that she does are actually quite funny, and I just thought they would make such a fun repeat pattern. Once we selected the drawings that she wanted to use, it was time for me to scan them in, and I just have an at-home printer scanner. It's nothing special, but it does the job. I scanned all of her drawings in and they are saved as a PDF, and then we can go over to Photoshop, open them up in there and start the pattern process. To start off by opening your scanned files into Photoshop, and I edited each of the images just to darken and enhance the kind of colours of them all, because the scanner sort of scan them in a little bit lighter than I would have liked. So I used the curves and the levels tool to make the image as dark as possible, and then I kind of rubbed out any areas that were grainy on the sides. I then used the feature remove background, but it was cutting away some of the essential items like the eyes and stuff like that. So what I did is I copied them out first, went back and removed the background, and then I had left over what I wanted to use for the drawing. I wanted to make sure to remove the backgrounds just so that I could only have the outline of the drawing itself, just to make the process easier, and then also I could give the print a coloured background if I wanted to. So I repeated the cleanup process with all the other drawings, and with this one in particular I did actually have to add a little bit more detail using the pen tool. I kind of just played around with the options that Photoshop has, and this is what I tend to do with a lot of my designs and prints, and especially if they're handmade drawings like this one, you might need to just enhance them and add to them digitally. So that's the amazing thing about Photoshop, is obviously you can have a little play around and do what you need to do on there. So once I'd cleaned up the image itself, I used the pen tool and I found a pen that kind of matched the grainy texture of that sort of pencil that she had used, and I swatched the colour, and once I was happy I kind of drew in some extra details. I was then able to use the remove background feature again and was left with a really good copy of the drawing with as much detail as possible. I repeated this process with all of the other designs, but as you can see here, I actually ended up using the add to mask and subtract from mask clipping tool feature. So when you remove the background of your images, you will see at the bottom there's options to subtract from mask and add to mask. This is really handy when you remove the background because you can add and subtract different pieces of the image that you're removing. If, for example, like this one, it removes chunks that you kind of still need within that design. So once I'd done that, I was happy with this one. I just played around with the levels and the colours and repeated the process for all the other designs. Now it's time to make the repeat print. So you're going to want a new canvas that is square in size. I used 1500 by 1500 pixels, 300 dpi, and then I just opened it up as RGB color. This is what the file or the canvas will look like, and then you want to drag and drop in your PNG drawing images that you've edited into this canvas. You can see here that the images were bigger than the canvas size. That's fine. I'm just sort of roughly resizing them at this stage. So drag them all in. I just used 3 to start off with, I believe, and then I'll show you the next process of the repeat pattern. So this works with kind of 3 to 5 images. You can obviously just use 1, you can use 2, but I find an odd number really works well. For this design, I centralized 3 of the images, and once I was happy with the placement of those 3, I merged those layers together and then clicked filter, other, and then the offset feature, which is at the bottom here. Then you want to move your horizontal and vertical offset tools at the top, and this moves your image over, so that what we're going to do is we're going to do it 750 each vertical and horizontal, and that moves the image to make a repeat pattern, and then we can fill in that middle space. So I'm dragging in the other images, and you can see there's a big gap here that we can fill up to create our repeat pattern. So I'm popping in the other little drawings, and then this process again is more just doing it by eye, seeing how the images look, and then kind of placing in the other images and shuffling them around until I'm sort of happy with how it's kind of looking. You then want to repeat the offset process, so merge the layers when you're happy with them and then press offset again, and then you can really test out the print and see if there's any big gaps that need filling or anything that you want to kind of move around, and then just have a little play and test it out and make sure that you're happy with the spacing of all of your elements. Once I was happy with my print, I then decided to test out some background colours and was filling the background in with different colours just to kind of get a feel for the print and to see what would work. I did actually end up landing on just using a white background because of some of the cutouts of the drawings, but obviously you can go ahead and keep a background that you like the look of, but I just thought I would show you this process. Even though I ended up using a white background, it's kind of handy to know that you can do this. I then created another canvas that was double the size of that one, so 3000 by 3000 pixels, because by doing this we can test out the actual print itself. So you want to drag in the finished print into the new canvas and duplicate it a few more times so that you have 4 squares in total, and then you can place them next to each other, making sure that the snapping guide is on. You can see the guide snapping too, like that, and then the print should match up perfectly so that you have a repeat print like so. I was so happy with it. It looks so cute, and then it meant that I could go on and make a little design for Willow's snack bag that I was going to sublimate onto. I printed my design with my Sublimation printer. I've got other videos on this printer if you want to know more information. I was so happy with the finished design. Once it was printed out, I could then sublimate it onto my little snack bag. I then used my Easy Press, a heatproof mat and a little sublimation bag. I cut the design to size just using a pair of scissors, and then once I'd cut it to size, I placed another piece of paper, just a scrap piece of paper, inside the actual bag itself, just to protect the inside layers from any dye sort of penetrating through the fabric. And then I could place on the easy press and start the sublimation process. So if you are new to sublimating, it's a process of transferring dye onto a sublimation blank using heat. I made a few of these little bags because I thought they would be a sort of gift idea for family members. I just hope this video really helped to show you guys how you can make repeat prints, perfect for creating your own fabrics, your own gifts. There's so many things that you can do with repeat prints. You could even make phone backgrounds, or you could put them on spoon flower and make your own fabric prints. So yeah, I'm really pleased with them. And this is how they turned out. They're so cute. I absolutely love how these little pouches have turned out, and you could sublimate designs onto anything, whether that's a t-shirt or, you know, bigger pieces of fabric. I have an A4 sublimation printer, so for me it just worked well to do something like this, like a small little project. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can go find out more about Photoshop and download it. It's such a fabulous piece of software to have, and I absolutely love it, whether you're editing photos, creating repeat patterns, making design mock-ups, you name it. It's just fabulous. So I highly recommend it, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!